It's 2014, E3. The new Assassin's Creed is being showcased, and you have been waiting for this the whole conference. After the success of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, you cannot wait to get your hands on what is the first truly next-gen Assassin's Creed game. As the gameplay trailer starts, you see the overhead view of historic Paris and riding crowds outside the Notre Dame. It's the French Revolution, a perfect historical set piece for an intriguing alternate history where you can wield the literal blade that changes France forever. Immediately, the game's director starts listing off new features that excite you. You can now parkour directionally. The more powerful consoles can render even larger crowds, making it easier to hide in plain sight. Fully customizable outfits, co-op missions where each player can have their own unique playstyle, and finally, you can crouch. Yes, after 7 years and 9 different installments, the stealth game franchise has added the ability to crouch and take cover behind objects. But nonetheless, it's a huge deal. This is going to be the best Assassin's Creed to date. You beg your mother for a credit card information so you can call GameSpot and place a pre-order because you know this will be the game you spend the whole winter playing. You count down the months, then the weeks, then the days, and finally, it's October 28th, 2014, the day Assassin's Creed Unity releases. Oh wait, actually got delayed a few weeks. Oh yeah, it says here, they wanted to delay the game to ensure it was exceptional upon release. And that's fine. It does nothing but bring you confidence, knowing the game is going to get all the love and attention it deserves to become a perfectly polished masterpiece. 2 weeks later, you're loading into what will be your next great adventure as the master French assassin, Arnaud Dorian. The screen turns from black to white as you load in, and that's when you realize, holy fuck, this is bad. Yeah, they just lied to you, kid. Glitches upon glitches, a forgettable story, and still the same gameplay from before, with the exception of the assassination missions, which, to be fair, I think was an amazing improvement and I'm glad they've stuck with it. But seriously man, the glitches were so bad. The game released in such a broken state that after the outcry from the angered community, Ubisoft gifted the Dead Kings DLC to everyone who purchased the game for free. And if you know anything about Ubisoft, then you understand that them giving away free content to their player base is a big deal. Another example of a video game being overhyped with an overinflated marketing budget and an underfunded development one. This has been happening since the first board of directors on a video game publishing company uttered the words pre-order. And although this game isn't the most loved Assassin's Creed, I still personally love the setting and the concepts throughout the game. I don't know, maybe I'm just a sucker for the Assassin's Creed games, but I still enjoyed the semi-functioning patchwork of code. I've been wanting to do a video on Assassin's Creed game for a while, but I couldn't quite pick which one I wanted to do or what the challenge should be. But after replaying this game a few weeks ago, I knew what I wanted to do. So many people call this the worst Assassin's Creed game. And that's understandable. It's definitely a competitor for that title, if not it itself. But how can I make this experience even worse for myself? And then it hit me. Why not lean into the failure that this game had and try to beat the worst Assassin's Creed as the world's worst assassin? Okay, let me explain that title a bit more. It does sound cool, but not really descriptive. For this challenge, I'll be playing through all of Assassin's Creed Unity without upgrading myself, by not purchasing any gear or skills, as if I was the worst assassin within the Creed. This is equivalent to playing the whole game without leveling up. Hey, it's like the first challenge video I did. Please don't watch that video, it's so cringy. Please don't watch it. Like most games, ACU's progression is linear, meaning as I play the game, my character will get stronger as the enemies and missions get harder. You become stronger by buying better gear and using skill points to unlock skills, but for the challenge, I won't be able to do either of those, effectively keeping me the weakest I can possibly be while fighting harder and harder enemies. Now for the record, I can't actually stop myself from getting skill points or getting certain pieces of gear, but I just won't be equipping them, unlocking them, or using them. I also can't change the difficulty for this game, otherwise I would set it to the hardest mode to make it even more of a challenge. Each weapon and piece of gear has a rating from 1 diamond, the weakest, to 5 golden diamonds, the strongest. When you start each mission, there will be a rating beside its title. This is the recommended level of gear you should have equipped before starting that mission. So if I play a mission rated at level 3 while wearing level 3 gear, it should be pretty evenly matched. In a normal run of the game, you would level yourself up at will because almost all gear unlocks are not attached to story progression, but rather the amount of money you have. So if you really wanted to, you could get the best gear in the game immediately after completing the tutorial. You just have to grind out some money making side missions. This is actually something you can do pretty easy too. There's one specific co-op side mission where completing it perfectly nets $70,000, and it's a mission that can be completed within a few minutes with no issues if you get good RNG. If you don't get good RNG, just restart the mission. There's no penalty in doing that. Rinse and repeat 2 to 3 times, and you can buy the strongest weapons in the game before starting sequence 3. For the challenge though, I'm doing the exact opposite of over-leveling myself. Here, I'll show you guys a clip from a normal playthrough I did. Using maxed out gear, I head out to fight some guards. Extremely easy, even though this is one of the hardest missions in the game. My weapons do enough damage to take the enemies down without struggle. Now here's a clip of me fighting the same guards, but with the weakest gear in the game. I do basically no damage, and easily get my ass kicked. And the challenge will be even harder than this, because that clip of me fighting with the weakest gear was done on my old playthrough. So I had all the skills unlocked, including stronger attacks and 4 health upgrades. So when I actually fight high level enemies in the challenge, it will be almost impossible to win without cheesing it somehow. To make it a little harder, I'm also playing with no HUD. That means no minimap, no health bar, and no indicators when I'm fighting, making it very hard to time dodges, parries, and attacks. Other than that, this challenge is pretty self-explanatory, so not much else to explain right now. Let's get started with the run.
10 mistakes every gamer makes when you start a new game.
So I go to start a new game when I realize there's no option to have multiple save files, or even start a new game in the main menu. I tried loading into my save file to see if I could start a new game from there, but I only got jump scared by an NPC.
What the fuck is this loading?
Yeah, I can't even load in without seeing a glitch. There's going to be a lot of bugs this run. In-game, there's also no option to start a new game, meaning they rushed this game so much they either forgot to add a new game option, or they knew everyone would hate this game because of how broken it was they would never want to start a new save file. So the only option for me to start a new game is to go into my PS4 settings, manually delete the save file for ACU, and relaunch the application. Loaded back in, and I'm greeted with a cutscene explaining some of the lore. Then I get to choose which story to play through. Now people who have played through this game know that right now I'm actually playing as a character playing a video game. Yeah, it's a little confusing, just think of it as Inception but for neckbeards who live in their mom's basement. Basically, the Templars, the evil guys in the Assassin's Creed series, have made a video game where people get to relive the experience of past assassins and Templars. I play as a no-name character, referred to as Initiate, playing through the Templars game. Now this page is actually a little Easter egg. You can only choose the first option, but you can read the titles of other stories within the game, and some of those games are already in the series, like Assassin's Creed Black Flag or AC3. I choose the first option and play the story of Jacques de Morlaix, or I don't know, something French sounding, I can't pronounce it. A Templar who lives in medieval France. As his bodyguard, I must run to hide a sword in a book. This is a tutorial section of the game. I can't access my gear here, so I can't change anything. It doesn't matter anyways, there's only one fight here, and it's scripted to show you how to play the game. I don't actually get to start the challenge till I get control of Arno in Paris. Baldy gets captured and burned at the stake. As he dies, he curses at the king and his lineage for 13 generations. Probably isn't going to be relevant to this game about a future king being overthrown in a bloody revolution, right? Another cutscene loads in. The present-day assassins hack my game and ask me to play the memories of Arno. After getting control of Arno, I actually start the challenge and turn off my HUD as the first step. This is also a tutorial section. Like the first 2 hours of gameplay is all tutorial, honestly. Nothing really happens here though. Oh yeah, Arno's dad dies, he sees his body, and then Arno gets adopted by his girlfriend's dad. It's probably not that important. Years later, Arno is an adult. After stealing back his watch from the Vorso twins,
Da Vinci?
He's asked to deliver a very important letter to his adoptive dad, Monsieur de la Serre. Okay, guess for the record, I already could barely speak English, so I'm gonna butcher all these French names, just ignore it, okay? I lose track of his carriage and stop the wrong one. That guy looks familiar. Now I gotta climb to my first viewpoint to find my adoptive daddy. This game has a lot of issues, but one thing they nailed was the architecture of the unique buildings in the game. Climbing each viewpoint in this game was always beautiful, even though every other building that wasn't a landmark was just copy and pasted. Sneaking into the meeting hall is my first real stealth section, and although easy with no HUD, even easy stealth sections become hard. I can't see the bounds of restricted areas because I have no minimap. I don't get a visual indicator when I blend in with the crowd, and there's no indicator above a guard's head when they spot me, making it harder to tell which guard saw me when there are multiple guards in the area. After sneaking past, I get inside. Before I can get to my AD, adopted daddy, I get attacked by the twins again. It's a tutorial style fight scene, so it's very easy. Back at the manor, my AD still isn't home, so I slide this letter under his door so I can go meet Elise, my adopted sister, at a party. Sneaking into the party is a tutorial for the new stealth mechanics on the game. Inside the mansion is easy. Just sneak past all the guards conveniently roaming rooms that have furniture just tall enough to hide a fully grown man crouching. After getting past some guards that should definitely be fired, I walk through the party to meet Elise. But if I use Eagle Vision while I'm here, certain party guests will turn gold. It's because these guests are actually Templars attending the party, and people I'll kill later in the game. It's not super important, just a little Easter egg, but I'm bringing it up now because it creates a plot hole later in the game that literally ruins the story. I'll explain it when it comes up, but just remember these guys are at this specific party. Finally, I catch up to Elise, my AS, adoptive sister. But let's just say Arno is pretty close with his sister. Like, way too close, like Alabama close. Game never addresses how it's a bit weird that Arno is literally living out the stepsister scenario in every porn video, but whatever, maybe it's normal in France. Maybe France is the American south of Europe. Did some amazing Master Assassin level stealth here. Look at this pro gaming strat called being an idiot and trying to walk through a guard. Ran to a checkpoint before getting killed where I meet my girlfriend's dad, which is also my dad. I run over to him as he collapses. He was just murdered and the killers frame Arno. Before I can say anything to the guards, they bonk me. Flash forward, I'm now in prison, where the game crashes for some reason. I load back in and it brings me to right after I finish getting to first base with my sister. So I have to redo that stealth section. I just run through it and watch my father-in-law get downed again.
Revive me, I got the ray gun, bro!
Now back in the prison, I wake up and one of the cellmates stole my dad's watch. I fight him to get it back. Again, this is still a tutorial, so it's super easy. Pierre, the man who just kicked my ass and won't stop calling me piss pot, is an assassin purposely hiding in the prison to find secret writings that can only be seen with Eagle Vision. When he realizes Arno can also see the writings, and learns that Arno's father was Charles Dorian, an assassin Pierre served with previously. He decides to take Arno under his wing and train him to become an assassin. A few months later, we take advantage of a raid on the prison to make our escape. Still being the tutorial and early on in the game, the fighting is easy. At the top of the prison, we make our exit. Pierre tells me if I want to continue my training to come find him. Then he fucking kills himself. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty easy to find him if he's just splattered all over the ground below me. With no other options, I complete our suicide pact and dive off the roof.
Sports training montage. Show a lot of things happening at once. Remind everyone of what's going on.
First thing I do at prison is find Elise. Arnold tries to explain that he isn't the one that killed their dad, but it doesn't matter. Elise believes he didn't do it, but it's still his fault. See, that letter Arno was supposed to deliver urgently to his AD was warning him to be careful at the party, written by another Templar named L. Oh yeah, de Leslier was a Templar, and so's Elise, which makes our already complicated relationship a little more complicated. So for some reason, there's infighting within the Templar ranks, and the person who killed de Leslier was also a Templar. Kinda sucks he died right before Elise and Arno could get married though. It would have been interesting watching him walk both the bride and groom down the aisle. Desperate to get Elise to forgive him, shit. Arno decided to join the assassins so he can avenge de Leslier. After doing some super realistic parkour.
What?
I find the entrance to the assassin's hideout. To unlock it, I have to parkour around this puzzle-like room. This part reminded me a lot of the Uncharted games, and honestly, AC should do more of this stuff. It's fun gameplay and utilizes the amazing settings of the game. After getting inside, the assassins let me join, after forcing me to drink some spiked punch. This is a whole trippy parkour section where I kinda just hold W and run forward the whole time. After finishing, Arno was officially accepted into the Assassin's Guild. Kinda funny that the initiation ceremony for a League of Master Killers is equivalent to getting hazed in at a frat house. Before continuing as Arno, there is another present day cutscene. I'm honestly not going to explain that part of the lore for this video, it's too much to type out. I'm very lazy, and it isn't really relevant to the main game of the challenge. All you need to know is that the present day assassins are having you play through Arno's memories so they can find a sage. At some part in Arno's life, he fought one. They just don't know who they were, when, or where yet. Loading back into France, I finally have full control of Arno and the open world, meaning I can now access my skills and gear. But of course, I won't be using any. From this point on, the challenge actually starts to take effect, even though I was already using the worst gear. I quickly take a look at my skills to show you guys exactly what I'm missing out on. Like I said before, I will have no health upgrades or strong attacks, but I also won't have the ability to use guns. For some reason, you have to unlock it as a skill before you can use any in this AC. I won't be able to do double assassinations, I won't be able to do double air assassinations, I won't be able to use money pouches, stun bombs, or poison gas, and I won't be able to lockpick, meaning I can't lockpick any doors during stealth sections to create easier routes. The best skill in the game, the incredibly overpowered disguise skill, is also not available to me. That skill literally lets you become invisible to all guards and enemies for 30 seconds, allowing you to just walk past them. Using it in a normal run is basically cheating. Now for the gear. You automatically have the worst outfit equipped. It's Arno's default look. But the one item that I don't have but need to get for the challenge is the worst weapon. Now I do have the worst sword in the game. It's also part of your default loadout. But there are multiple weapon types within the game. One-handed, heavy, and long. Heavy weapons are slower and have less range than one-handed weapons, but do more damage. The first two heavy weapons though, they do the same amount of damage as the worst swords do. So if you look at them in the gear screen, it will show you those two heavy weapons are slower and have less range, but have the same damage output as the default swords, making them overall worse. Now, out of those two heavy weapons, the pickaxe and the wooden hammer, one is lethal and the other isn't. I thought it was fitting to use the non-lethal weapon over the lethal one, to truly become a horrible assassin that can't kill anything. One small problem though, it's a weapon I have to unlock by first completing a murder mystery side mission. So it's the first thing I do before continuing the story. Murder mystery side missions are cool. Basically little detective minigame. I go to a murder scene, check out all the clues and suspects, and then I get to accuse one of them. The first one is super easy though. The guy just admits he did it when you talk to him.
Is it murder to fulfill a prophecy?
Yeah, it's still murder, dog.
Is it murder to kill? Huh? You know better than God. Is it murder to kill? Look at me right now. Is it murder to kill? I don't believe so.
After turning him in, I get my wooden hammer. After 2 hours of tutorials and setting up, I'm finally ready for the challenge.
He what?
He took it out.
Haha, joke's on you, still the tutorial. Kind of. Arno still isn't a fully trained assassin, so I'm working under Pierre to learn how to kill the innocent guards who are just doing their jobs and occasionally kill an actual bad guy. Good thing about killing the innocent guards, they're usually dumb as rocks, so it's pretty easy. Like, how the fuck did this guard not hear his buddy scream as I killed him? Now escaping from the rest of the guards, I unlock smoke bombs. Pretty standard video game smoke bomb, it stuns, blinds enemies, and blocks their line of sight, making it very useful for running away without getting killed. In late game, I will be super weak. I really won't be able to fight enemies head on, so I'll be using smoke bombs a bunch as they are one of the few gadgets I can use without purchasing skills. Back at the assassin's headquarters, which is basically just a hole in a cave, you know what? I'm gonna call it the ass hole for short. Anyways, Arno enters the asshole with Pierre. They meet to talk with the other leaders of the Creed. Arno wants to kill Servette, a man named after the fancy word for napkins. And if your name is Napkins and someone is about to kill you, just know it's a mercy killing for your parents giving you that god-awful name. Now, an important little plot point here, Arno only wants to kill those involved in his AD's death, which is why he wants to kill Servette so bad. He's the man who actually stabbed him. It's important to note this because it shows how Arno doesn't actually care about the Creed or its rules. He's only using it as a way to achieve his vengeance, so he can get back to plowing his sister. I start the first assassination mission of the game. In this AC, they changed the way these missions work, by making it more of a sandbox type level and added side objectives to aid you. Some missions, like this one, have side objectives that let you get a unique kill, making the assassination way easier. For the challenge, I'll be doing these side objectives often to give me a much needed edge in the game. Without skills, a lot of routes and playstyles are off limits, so I need all the help I can get. For this mission, I know that Servette is meeting a business partner in the confessional, so I assassinate the business partner and take his place to get an easy hidden kill on Napkin Man. Kind of funny that I was even able to do that. Normally Catholic confessional booths are reserved for priests to have their secret meetings with the altar boys. Before I can continue with Arno's story, I gotta do a mission where I'm transported to a more modern France to do some parkour. This happens 3 or 4 times in the game. These missions are fun, but they just make me want to play an Assassin's Creed game in a more modern setting, which at this rate I don't think we'll ever get. Returning to the asshole, I get my next assassination target, the King of Beggars, the other man who Servette was with when he killed my AD. I also get the Phantom Blade, a crossbow attached to my arm. It's this game's silent ranged weapon. I can still use it although I don't have the range skill unlocked. I guess that skill only applies to pistols. A headshot with this weapon will instant kill any enemy, so it's very strong. Another tool I'll be using a lot. On the way over to the next mission, I see this normal man shoveling hay normally. This game is great. To get the location of the King of Beggars, I gotta track down his accountant before I can intervene his improvised surgery. I start a chat with the horniest man in France. I forget this guy's name, but he appears a few times in the story and always acts like he just popped the Viagra and needs to use it. Started telling Latouche back to his house. Gameplay sections like this are easy for the challenge because low gear and no skills doesn't really affect it. Failed. Yep, I got caught literally 5 feet before the checkpoint. Nice. So I had to redo this long ass tailing section. I just stuck to the roofs to make it easier. I begin interrogating Latouche, but before I can even start torturing him, he gives me the location of his boss. What a pussy. Latouche? More like Ladouche. Am I right? Okay, yeah, that joke wasn't funny, but what can I do? Because it's my video and I'm editing it, I could just re-say it and add a laugh track so you think it was funny. Latouche? More like Ladouche. The beggar is hiding underground. It's time to start the assassination mission. Before sneaking into the tunnels, I complete the side objectives. One will fill the tunnels with smoke, reducing visibility. The other will reduce the amount of guards patrolling the level. Not all side missions are super useful. Some are just small little buffs you can get, but still worth it if it doesn't take that much time to do. Before getting in the room with the king, Latouche warns him that I'm coming, without telling him he's the one who tipped me off. Confronted Latouche a second time in the tunnels where he ran and told me where to find his boss again. What a spineless little guy. He got a cool hat though. Finally in the room with the king, his assassination is easy. Because he is warned by Latouche, he has all his goons hide behind cover to ambush me. But with Eagle Vision, I can find where they are and kill them while they're still hidden behind cover so no one sees me slash their throats. After spending a few minutes clearing the room, I sneak up behind the king and dethrone him. Now something I didn't explain before is target memories. When killing a target, I get to see their key memories involving the Templars and assassins. This is how Arnold gets his intel. During the beggar's memories, I learned that Servette convinced him to kill my AD and work for a rogue grandmaster within the Templar ranks. It's very convenient that the memories are shown to Ardo in this weird 3D person cinematic though, because it allows the identity of the grandmaster to stay hidden until the twist later on in the game. The beggar would obviously know what his face looks like, but Arnold just doesn't get to see it yet. Escaping the tunnels is a breeze. This is because of the side mission I did earlier, creating the smoke. Up top, the horniest man in France, who definitely didn't just fuck that goat, is now taking the place as the new king of beggars. As a thanks to Arno for his help, he gives me the murder weapon used on my AD, and the name of the silversmith who created it, Francis Germain. Which is a weird name for a guy living in France, but it'd probably be weirder to live in a country that was your last name. With the new information, I leave the King of Beggars to go start the next mission. Now in truth, I am the King of Beggars. Because right now, I am begging you to like this video if you're enjoying it, or subscribe to my channel. It takes me a long time to make these videos, and I still can't make money until I hit 1,000 subs, so it'd really help me out. Thank you again for watching, back to the game. Arno heads to the location of Germain. He's being watched by a bunch of armed guards, which isn't suspicious at all. Sneaking in is easy. Germain tells me that he's been captured by the Templars for months and forced to do their work. To help him escape, I have to clear the rooms of enemies. Staying in stealth allows me to instantly kill every enemy with an assassination. Even though my weapons are weak, it does not affect me if I can stay in stealth. Outside the compound, Germain tells me that he made the pins for a Templar named Lafreniere and the last known location of them. Starting the next mission, I need to head into this building to find Lafreniere or any information about him, but the place is crawling with guards, and to get to the next checkpoint on the second floor is impossible without fighting and getting killed by the guards. I remembered right before I started this mission I completed a viewpoint in the area, and while doing it, I noticed an open hole at the top of the building. I thought, hey, maybe I can climb to the top of the building and work my way down to the second floor instead of entering the building from the ground floor. But when I got there, the hole was boarded up. I guess the devs did this so you have to come from the ground floor, which sucks because now I have to figure out a way to get to the checkpoint without dying. After a bit of messing around, I found a route that worked. I just killed the sniper with my phantom blade, stealth killed another guard, and snuck up to the checkpoint before being caught. After getting location Lafreniere, Arnold decides to burn down the building because it's being used as storage for the Templars' weapons. So what could go wrong if he ignited a giant pile of gunpowder and explosives? Probably nothing, right? Yeah, Arnold isn't the brightest. With the location of Lafreniere, it's time to assassinate him. This mission is a little different compared to the other assassination missions. I get here way before Lafreniere is on site. I'm supposed to set up the area and then wait in any hiding spot I want until he arrives later that day. One of the side objectives you can do gives you a map of the guards' locations and Lafreniere's pathing. With the information from the map, I choose a spot in the far corner of the graveyard and hide in a haystack until night. With With only 2 guards near me, it's easy to clear the area and wait for Lafreniere around the corner where I can get an easy kill. At Lafreniere's memories, you learn that there's a Templar meeting at a palace tonight. You also learn he's the one who wrote the letter warning your AD of his betrayal, meaning it is unlikely that he is the Templar that ordered to have him killed. But hang on, that kind of makes no sense, because Lafreniere was at the party where my AD was killed. You see him here. So he knew his friend was going to be murdered and wanted to keep him alive by warning him, but never went to talk to him in person at the party they were both at the night he was going to be killed. Why? This one little plot hole literally breaks the game's story because it ruins the inciting incident of the plot. If Lafreniere was thinking normally, he would have talked to my AD and he wouldn't have been killed. Meaning Arno would never be blamed for his murder, never thrown in jail, he would never meet Pierre, and he'd never learn about the assassins or try to become one. Back to the asshole, Arno tells the leaders of the Creed that he found Germain and killed Lafreniere. They get pissed off at him. He's going around killing people without being asked to, and that goes against the Creed. Once again showing Arno only cares about his vengeance. Arno sent a spy on the Templar meeting. Tried killing these guards while sneaking in and it just didn't work for some reason. After tailing Latouche for a while, you learn of the Templar conspiracy. Turns out there's a mutiny within the Templars. My AD and Lafreniere were both targets of this mutiny by the other Templars. While Napkin and the King of Beggars killed Lissière and Arno in turn killed them, Lafreniere was never involved in his murder. Arno believed he was because of the info he got from Germain. So, Arno did the Templars' dirty work for them and killed Lafreniere without realizing he was helping the same people that he wants to get his vengeance on. Before leaving, you learn they plan to kill Elise, as she is a Templar and daughter of the old Templar grandmaster, so she is not part of this insurrection. On the way to the building, I get spotted by the last guard and start to fight him. One issue I haven't mentioned yet is inventory space. To be able to carry more Phantom Blade, smoke bombs, ammo, or most importantly heals, requires a better belt, a type of gear which I can't use for the challenge. That means at max, I can have 5 heals on me without looting or buying more. Occasionally in the run I would die because I did not have enough heals on me to continue the fight. That, combined with an overall low health because I couldn't upgrade it through skills, made some sections impossible to fight through. Although I tried to fight him, I lost and literally got folded by him. Got out properly on my second try, and I finished the mission. The next mission has me defend Elise as the Templars try to assassinate her. Although majority of this mission was all open combat, it wasn't too difficult. After dying 3 times, I realized missions with allies can be cheesed to make them easier. Instead of fighting the harder enemy types by myself, I let my allies do it and focus on the weaker enemy types. That, plus abundance of smoke bombs, made these fights easy. Escape the ambush with Elise by just jumping over the maze instead of going through it. With Elise's life in danger, Arno decides to bring her into the Creed's asshole, hoping they can protect her in there. But all that does is cause a massive argument between Pierre and the other leaders of the Creed before Arno is asked to leave. Elise and I head to Germain's workshop to see if he left any clues, but it was just a trap. Before leaving though, we learn that Germain is the grandmaster behind the Templars' murders and the sage the modern day assassins are after. Wow, what a twist. With this new info, Arno and Elise agree to meet at Murabos to brief him about the Templar conspiracy. When Arno arrives at Murabos, Elise is standing next to his dead body. She says it wasn't her, and Arno believes her. For the record, guys, this doesn't actually work as a defense in a murder case. If someone catches you standing next to a dead body and you say it wasn't me, they're probably gonna find you guilty still. Did that mistake once. Costed me life plus 15 years with no chance of parole. Thank God the judge died in a very suspicious car crash and all my charges were dropped. That was probably the best day of my life. Well, actually not really now that I think about it. I did total my car that day, so it wasn't perfect. Anyways, this mission plays out like a murder mystery side mission. You look at all the clues, talk to people, and try to find the killer. It's obvious when investigating that someone's trying to frame Elise, using the same poisons Templars use and leaving behind the same pins Germain made. After talking to the other heads of the Creed, you learn that the poison came from a specific apothecary. When you get to him, wait, is that the fucking oatmeal dude? Yeah, that's the fucking guy who makes all the oatmeal. Damn, can't believe they got him for this game. That must have been expensive to cast him. Shit. After chasing down the Amish dude, we learned that he ran from us because another assassin shook him down earlier and he thought we were going to do the same. The other assassin bought 2 orders of poison. One he took and the other is being dropped off at a specific location. Arno heads there to finally figure out who the killer is. When I get to the top of the building, it's revealed that the killer was Pierre Balsac. I mean, Pierre Bellic. Pierre Bellic. Yeah. This plotline sucked. It kind of always sucks. Basically, Pierre is upset at Murabeau and the other head assassins of the Creed for their willingness to work with the Templars to come to a peace agreement. So he just kind of starts killing his own. Yeah, instead of trying to find peace, that's bad, so he murders people. Obviously, Pierre is now a bad guy. The game starts with you working with Pierre, and he is one of those mentors who's hard on you, but means the best, which is why he calls you Pisspot. It's less of an insult and more of a term of endearment. Or maybe Arno has a humiliation fetish. Regardless, Pierre, in the beginning of the game, is very present in the story, and overall, a good dude. The reason this plotline sucks is because you don't get to see Pierre's character change over time as much as you should. After the first assassination, you only see him again in cutscenes, during which he's usually mad at the leaders for being soft on the Templars, but still that alone doesn't feel like enough development for this massive change in his character, where he decides to kill his closest allies. And it doesn't create a good payoff for this fight, which is supposed to be a fight you as a player don't want to do. You should not want Arno to kill Pierre, but understand that he has to because Pierre has gone crazy. Similar to the end of Star Wars Episode 3. Spoiler alert for a 20-year-old movie. Baby Yoda is revealed to be Darth Vader, and the Mandalorian has to shoot him. Maybe the payoff doesn't land because you don't spend as much time with Pierre as you should. Maybe it's just something that would never work because the character's choices seem too unrealistic. It doesn't really matter. I just never felt emotionally connected to this plotline. I was honestly only sad to see Pierre go because he said pisspot a lot, and that's a funny word. Pisspot. That's a very funny word. I like it. The fight itself is easy for the challenge. I was worried it was going to be really hard. A combination of me using a weak weapon and not having the parry cues on screen made me think it was going to be impossible. But based on the amount of damage I did and he did on me, I think this fight is scripted, so it doesn't really matter what weapons you use. Once inside, Pierre tries to kill Elise before telling Arno the only reason he is working with the Templars is so that he can smash Elise. And he's totally right. Arno is just horny. He just really wants to fuck his stepsister again. The whole game is Arno trying to avenge his AD's death so Elise will forgive him. It's why he doesn't care about the Creed's rules or its politics. He only has a selfish desire to smash his sister, which I mean same. I mean not same. Oh god, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. I mean like I also want to have sex with women and I sometimes do things for that purpose, but not sex with my sister. Well, not again anyways. Everyone at the funeral was so mad when they found us. The fight inside is the same as before, with the slight difference of Pierre sometimes disappearing for a few seconds. Normally he would appear right in front of you, but sometimes he would drop from the sky, and I was not expecting it the first time and got murked. After a bit of fighting, Pierre was dying. Before giving him the finishing blow, something your mother gave me last night, I tried walking away to see if there was a hidden option where I left him alive. There wasn't. After walking to the camera like a moron for 5 minutes, I killed Pierre. Before I continue the main storyline, I once again have to travel to the future for some parkour. This time it's wartime at the Eiffel Tower. While scaling up the building, I realize that Arno has no dialogue during these missions, which I think is a massive missed opportunity. I understand it wouldn't make sense in terms of the Assassin's Creed universe and its rules, but it would still be way more fun to hear a Frenchman from the 1700s shit his pants and yell when he first discovers what a plane is as it tries to kill him. The mission is easy though, same as before, no fighting, just parkour, so it's a walk in the park. If that walk included free falling from the top of the Eiffel Tower.
I love cake.
With Mirabeau and Pierre dead, the Creed is in disarray. I'm asked to head to the King's Palace and steal some letters, or something, honestly it doesn't really matter. While trying to stealth in on my first attempt, I got spotted. Instead of fighting, I ran inside towards the checkpoint to see if I could progress the mission even though it was in combat. That didn't work and I was killed. When I respawned though, I started inside the palace. So I already passed like half the guards. I got a checkpoint while in combat. Because of this, I learned I can exploit checkpoints in later missions to get past hard stealth sections. After stealthing past some guards and making this one off himself by just being in his presence, I meet Napoleon in the king's drawing room. Him and I loot the place together and escape through a secret elevator that's conveniently right next to us. Napoleon wants a certain Templar dead. The one I want dead too. So he gives me his location, and I start the next assassination mission. Now I think the mission is supposed to be hard because the game wants you to work your way up to the roof of the building by going through the guard-infested prison floors. There are even spikes around the outside of the building that normally aren't there, just so you can't parkour up the side. But I can literally climb up the entrance of the building, basically where the mission spawns me, all the way to the 3rd floor window, where all I have to do is walk up some stairs on my left, and I'm at the roof. I guess they never tested this level because I could basically skip the whole thing. Once up here, the mission is easy. Just complete a quick side objective to take out some snipers, and then I can stealth kill a bunch of guards on the roof, allowing me to get closer to Louis. Unfortunately, he won't move from his spot, and with the 2 guards watching him, it would be impossible for me to get a clean kill. So, I tried something. Something stupid. I tried to shoot one of the guards with my phantom blade and then jump on him at the same time. I was blocked and entered combat. I knew it was fucked once that happened. I tried to fight him using my smoke bombs to stun, but I was one-shotted by a guard with a pistol. Respawned on the roof again. This time, while waiting for Louis to move again, someone spotted me, so I hid in this tent thingy. What the hell are these things? They're like old school porta potties or something? I don't know, they're here. They're all over the place in this game. Whatever. I hid in this very convenient hiding spot. After waiting for a bit, it was just me and Louis, so I went in for the kill. In his memories, I learned to the next target, Marie.
What are the 5 best reasons why there is no God?
Starting the next mission has me follow some goons in a boat so I can find Marie's location. I have to steal a piece of paper off one of the guards. Took a few tries, got one-shotted again. Having no health really sucks. Stole the paper, and I started the next assassination mission. This was the hardest mission of the run. When I started off, I immediately did a side objective in the front of the palace. This objective will cause fireworks to go off during the party, distracting everyone, and it will make Marie go into a room where I can more easily stealth kill her. To do the side objective, I have to protect a man delivering fireworks as he rides down the street in his carriage. And it's here where you can see just why this is the hardest mission of the run. At this point in the game, enemies do so much damage that I die in 1 or 2 hits. And I do so little damage that fighting enemies head on takes way too long, or I have to use all my items up to finish the fight. Now, completing this part wasn't too bad. It's only because I had just stocked up on supplies, so I had a bunch of heals and smoke bombs I could use. After completing it, I was actually able to refill my inventory too, because there was a shop right outside the palace. But once I head inside, I won't be able to buy any more items. So if I didn't kill her completely in stealth, I would have to fight my way out with what little items I could carry. After getting my ass beat on my first try, I found a route that gets me to the back of the palace. It's pretty easy. I gotta sneak past / kill a few guys to get here, but it's a consistent route. It just takes me about 3 to 5 minutes to do without getting caught each time, meaning every time I would die, just to get close to the target again, it would take me about 5 minutes. There are a bunch of guards patrolling this area, but the target stays in the main ballroom. It's crowded with people, so I can sneak into this area without getting detected, but in this room, there's no way for me to kill her without being seen. Guards at the exits of the room, snipers looking down from the floor above, and 2 guards that constantly follow her make that impossible. I tried here, I got detected before I killed her. When this happens, assassinations on main targets play out differently. Now in order to kill her, I have to first down her in combat, like killing a normal enemy. And then I have to press square over her body. Regardless of the weapon you use, sword, pistol, or bomb, if you don't kill the assassination target with your hidden blade, you'll have to do this extra step. Now this small change in gameplay is actually a big problem for me, because the button to kill a downed target, square, is also the attack button in combat. If there are enemies near me and a downed target, no matter what I do, I cannot kill them. If I hit square, I'll just attack the enemies standing nearby. This sucks, because I don't need to fight these cards. I just need to kill her and escape. And if I could do that mid-combat, it'd be an easy mission. But because I can't, in order to kill her while detected, I have to get rid of every enemy near her body, which I know is near impossible for the run. I'm just too weak. Before I die, I get a death animation and continue living for another few seconds before getting another death animation and actually dying. Okay, so I can't kill her without being detected, and I can't kill her while being stealthy in the ballroom. So why don't I use the firework distraction I was talking about earlier to get her into a different room and get the stealth kill there? Well, I have no idea how the firework distraction triggers. I think it's supposed to happen once Arno reaches the back hallway, to where Marie ends up going to watch the fireworks, but my first time through, it didn't start. On my second life when I walked through here, it did start, but only after I was in the hallway for about a minute. This plus me dying twice in the last life were the first signs that this level is very broken. I mean, look at this. Look at how bad the AI is here. And the civilians just walk over the bodies like nothing. Down the hall, Marie is mixed in with the crowd and only has her 2 bodyguards with her. Normally, I would silently double kill them before killing her, but I can't do double assassinations because I don't have that skill. So I try to sneak close to get the kill. I know from my last life I can't get too close to her or she'll detect me, and because my HUD is off, I can't see who is highlighted. So when I hit the assassination button, instead of killing her, I murk one of the guards. I die like 5 seconds later. Okay, try 3. This time I head to the hallway right away. I remember from my last life she's chilling near this window, so I thought I'd get the fireworks working, hang off the edge, and throw her out when she gets close. After getting the fireworks triggered by walking to the other end of the hallway, I start making my way back to the window as civilians pour in, and then somehow She sees me through a wall. What? I don't know how. Here, I'll show it slower to you guys. It's not possible for her to see me from that angle. On top of that too, I was also behind a crowd of people at the time, so even if she somehow had an angle on me, her detecting me is still bullshit. So I know now that the person I have to kill without being detected is bugged, and they might be able to detect me at any time, through walls or even if she isn't looking in my direction. Pissed off, I got myself killed to restart for a 4th time. Died before I made it to the hallway. Attempt 5. My Phantom Blade just didn't want to instantly kill this guard, so I got detected and killed again. Try 6. This time I get to the hallway, get the fireworks triggered, and start hanging out the window. All is going according to plan, when one of the guards outside starts shooting me. Tried to kill him before Marie detected me, but I died. Again. Lucky number 7. Or in my case, unlucky number 7. So this one is the weirdest one, because it's when I discovered that the fireworks kinda just trigger when they want. Before this, they were consistently triggering when I got to the end of the hallway, but for some reason they start going off before I even got there. So to this day, I still have no idea what causes them to trigger. I just ended up going with the flow and hoped that they would start going off once I was in a good position. Started to walk down the hallway while she's looking at the window, and she somehow sees me. I guess she got an eye sticking out her fucking ear. How am I supposed to get close to her, man? I should explain what happens when you get detected by a target. Now, I'm pretty sure it depends on how you get detected, because when I got detected up close by her, this didn't happen. She would just start to attack me. But when getting spotted from afar, the target would run off to a safe location on the map, an area that has more guards and is hard to get to. In this case, she runs to a bedroom not far from the far side of the hallway. The guards watching the entrance here were easy to take out. I just needed to get close enough to kill her without being seen. I don't know how, but I was able to assassinate her. After watching her memories, I gotta escape. In this level, when it's time to escape, all entrances are closed off except for a few, and I gotta find one of the open windows and jump out of it. I found one upstairs, but it's behind a door that needs to be lockpicked. Something I can't do. So I head back downstairs, and I'm somehow able to kill a bunch of guards like this before getting killed myself. Which sucks, but I was able to get the kill. I know it's possible. Yes, I had to restart, but knowing it's possible means I can complete the level without failing the challenge. It's just gonna take me a bunch of tries. A bunch. The fact Marie was completely broken didn't make it easier. Like this attempt, where I kill her in stealth, but it glitches out and she doesn't die. Detects me, and then runs off. I fucking hate this level! Okay. Gonna have to take a nice little capybara here before getting back to the level so all the veins in my forehead don't explode. Okay, I'm calmed down. Alright, let's get back to the video. There's no way the next try will be as bad, right? Come on, that was just a one-off glitch. It's not gonna happen again. I fucking hate this level so goddamn much! I fucking hate it! I fucking hate it! I mean, when I started playing this run, I remember all the hate this game got for being broken. And I honestly didn't believe it that much my first few hours playing. But this is not acceptable, man. Games are expensive, dude, and a lot of people that play games are broke, like me. So having to spend $60 on a broken mess is just not right. Because the publishers knew the game was broken. They just released it anyways so they wouldn't lose out on all the money they spent marketing and distributing it. They gave you garbage so they could save money. Remember that. After missing the world's easiest headshot 3 times in a row, I killed her again. But with all my heals used, I couldn't escape without being shot down. Next try, I hid myself in the crowd before Marie came to the window to watch the fireworks, and I assassinated her. I was very excited I was able to do this because I still had a full inventory of heals and smoke bombs, so the escape shouldn't be too hard. I watched her memories for a 3rd time, and no, I can't skip these. Believe me, I already tried. When they ended, I was instantly stunned and one-shotted by the bodyguards. Couldn't do anything, just had to take it like a stepsister stuck in a washing machine, or Elise stuck in a washing machine. I decided to change my game plan. Now I know that when she's dead, I'll be chased by the remaining guards, and I also know that killing her stealthy is basically impossible at this point. So my new plan is to do 2 things. 1, kill as many guards as I can while in stealth to make my path escaping easier. That means killing all the guys I see on my way to the back of the palace and those around the hallway and ballroom. And part 2 is to use berserk darts. Now I haven't explained these yet because I don't use them often. They are fun, but they cause a lot of chaos, making stealth hard. The reason I'm using them here is because stealth obviously doesn't matter for an assassination where the target can see you through fucking walls. Berserk darts will turn the enemy you shot at crazy and they will start attacking their allies, usually killing a few before dying themselves. Without any belt upgrades, I can only carry 3 at a time, but that's enough to kill a few guards without doing much. I tried a few times doing this strat, and I died a few times doing this strat, but eventually I was able to berserk a guard that downed her and then sneak into the room and finish her off before being caught. Watched her memories for the 6th time, I think. I don't know, I stopped paying attention. At least this time my cat came over for pets while I watched this unskippable cutscene. Here's my favorite picture of her. Her full name is Cat. Ran out of the building easily this time now that the hallways were half empty, and I finally finished the mission. It only took me, an hour and 45 minutes, which is about 1/7 of my total playthrough of the game. So it wasn't even that long of a mission, right? I fucking hate this level, and I fucking hate Marie. I'm glad I got to kill her like 10 times over. At least that was satisfying. Next mission is me and Elise escaping from the Templars pursuing us. It's pretty fun. You hijack a hot air balloon, parkour across rooftops in Paris, and eat a building at one point. Eventually make it to the hot air balloon with Elise. How romantic. Pretty sure Arno fucked his sister in that balloon, but whatever. I have no idea what I was doing here while the level loaded. I think the Marie mission gave me permanent brain damage. Well, extra brain damage on top of the stuff I have from before.
Hey guys.
I unlocked the last set of skills, but I still can't use them. I think the game is just taunting me with the abilities I can't have at this point.
The answer is inflation.
In Maria's memories, I learned of the next target. A politician named, what was it? It was something like French sounding? I don't know, I forgot his name. I only watched the memories like 20 times, so I don't know how I forgot it, but whatever. To get some info on him, Elise and Arno meet up with the horniest man in France, where he asks us a very simple question. 7 nuns seducing a priest, or a Benedict with a huge wiener ass-fucking a goat named Pius. Obviously the right answer is goat. For guessing his riddle correctly, he tells us the palace the target's staying at, and I start the next assassination mission. Once inside the palace grounds, I learn the French guy I gotta kill, or Figig for short, is upstairs. To get there, I have to make my way through lots of guards, something I can't do. Spent a few lives climbing around the map to figure out a way to get to the target in stealth. I found a path on the 2nd floor, but it requires me to pick a locked door, something I can't do. Now there's one other entrance. It unlocks by completing one of the side objectives and gives you a route to the target. All I have to do is bribe a window washer and ask her to leave the Figic's bedroom window open. But to do that, I need $4,000, which is something I don't have both in this game and in real life. So I quit the mission to go grind out some cash by completing side missions. Specifically, I went to go play the Helix Rift side missions. These missions have you run around in some of the more modern France locations to collect data points. The more data points, the more money. I didn't make too much doing these, about 1,000 each run, but these missions are the easiest way for me to make money without having any skills or gear. It's just some parkour. After 15 minutes, I head back to the main mission to continue the assassination of the Figig with enough money to bribe the window washer plus a little extra that should be enough to pay off all my item refills for the rest of the run. Now the second side objective for this assassination sets up a unique kill. I just need to steal some tainted wine, poison his drink, and kill him when he retires to the back rooms alone throwing up. So once I finally entered the newly opened window, I knew my next goal was to get to the bar so I could poison him. Unfortunately, that area is completely surrounded with enemies. There is no shot I can get there without getting caught. I honestly think the only way I could do this without being seen is to use the disguise skill. With that in mind, I needed a new plan. I didn't want to get any fights because at this point I knew I'd lose each one, so I did the same thing I did last assassination. I killed all the guards near the exit and entrance in stealth, including this guy who doesn't know what a door is. And then I berserked the guards watching the Figig so they could kill him for me. Fortunately for me, once the fighting broke out, the target got spooked and started running towards his bedroom, where I was already hiding. So I just slashed his neck as he ran by, and no one saw me do it. In the target's memories, I discovered that Jermaine is going to be at the king's execution, and I head there to kill him while I have the chance. Now I thought this was going to be the hardest mission of the run. Yes, even harder than the Broken Marie one. At this point, I can't even be seen by guards. I just died too quick, and from what I remember in previous playthroughs, stealthing through this mission was very hard because it takes place outside in an open square. Thankfully, there's an underground tunnel you can take, and it brings you very close to the objective. After sneaking past just a few guards, I make it to the checkpoint and a cutscene plays. Turns out, Jermaine was expecting Arno and set up an ambush. Before his goons could kill me, Elise comes out of the blue, like she was pulling out of a smurf, and saves my life. I died like 2 seconds later though. Respawned, and me and Elise chased down Jermaine while fighting off small waves of enemies. This should have been way harder, but I got really lucky and the police, guards in blue, started to fight the Templars, guards in red, making it way easier to keep chasing after Jermaine without getting shot in the back like I'm Kim K. We lose sight of him, give up chase, and Elise gets very pissed off at Arno. She wanted him to leave her to fight all the goons herself while Arno took the opportunity to kill Germaine. But Arno didn't want to leave her alone, knowing she'd probably die fighting all those guards herself. And honestly, I side with Arno here. I would do the same thing. If Elise dies, Arno isn't just losing his sister, he's also losing his wife. Elise says she doesn't want Arno's help and runs off. Next mission has me go back to the asshole for a debriefing, but when I get there, I'm asked to go into a back room where Arno is scolded for acting on his own accord. He wasn't tasked with tracking or killing Germaine, and because he spooked Germaine today at the execution, he's now going to head into hiding, making it almost impossible for the assassins to find him. This was the last straw. Arno's kicked out of the creed.
But you can't do this to me. I started this company.
Flash forward a few months. Arno's been drowning his sores in alcohol, a very healthy way to deal with your problems, even if my therapist disagrees. He wakes up with his watch missing and tries to remember where he lost it. This whole mission is kind of annoying. You have this weird filter on the whole time and I hate it. After a few fights and a few minutes of me trying to get this fight unglitched after an enemy got stuck, I chase a goon down and learn the man who stole my watch is hiding out at a nearby palace. A lot of these missions take place in palaces. This is actually the same place where Arno's wife's dad, or Arno's dad, died. I just gotta stealth through a few rooms with enemies. This part took a few tries, but overall wasn't too bad. Once outside, I gotta fight the man who stole my watch, and instead of fighting a hard target head on with the worst weapon in the game, I stealth kill him and berserk the other guards so they finish each other off. Elise appears. She got the watch back for me earlier, so I didn't even have to do all of that. After a little pep talk, Arno agrees to help Elise kill the remaining Templars in Germaine. One of the remaining Templars is Latouche the Douche himself. I finally get to kill the coward with the cool hat. I hope I get to keep his hat after assassinating him though. Now this mission is hard, but if I do the unique kill that lets me walk right up to him, it's easy. All I gotta do is pretend to be one of the prisoners being executed by sneaking into the holding cell and kill Latouche when I get close. Starting the side objective is a little hard. The place is crawling with guards. So to help me thin out the numbers, I berserked some of them. That's when I realized I didn't have any items on me because I didn't get a chance to refill my inventory before starting this mission. While the guards were fighting each other, I ran off to the shop to refill and came back. After finishing off a few more guards, I make my way to a holding cell where I meet the Vorso twins again.
Not the Eiffel Tower!
You know what? I'd let them Eiffel Tower me. They tell me to go get the key from a certain guard and I can get in. But I had already killed that guard, so when I got there, it didn't give it to me when I looted his body. The game glitched out, it just wouldn't give me his keys. Yeah, this is gonna be another broken level, isn't it? After walking around for a little bit on the street, he magically respawns. I go back to him, kill him again, and then steal the keys. This time it works. I get into the holding cell and ask the prisoners to let me go first. See, I'm supposed to walk slow with the guards and pretend I'm one of the prisoners about to be executed, and when I get close to Latouche, I go in for the kill. I don't know why they're not suspicious that I'm a prisoner equipped with a giant hammer, but whatever, it doesn't even matter because I forgot to walk with the guards and got detected the second I got too far away. Died almost instantly after. Tried again, same plan. I eventually stole the keys and walked slowly this time to Latouche. For some reason, he detected me though, even though I was supposed to be hidden. So I wasn't able to get the instant kill, but I thought, fuck it. I'll just fight him like normal and try to get the downed assassination. But that's when this happens. Yeah, you saw that right. He just teleported. Turns out Latouche is wearing that funky hat not because he's dressing like a pimp from the 70s, but because he's a fucking wizard. Yay, more game-breaking glitches! Went to where he was and beat his ass for cheating the laws of physics, but before I could get the downed kill, my friend came into the chat, Shadow Gonzalo. You should check out his band, Please Don't Crash, they're awesome. Wait, also check out my band, Waste Youth, we're also awesome. I always forget to shout out my band in my videos. Yep, go listen to our music and their music, please, thank you. Anyways, after over-explaining a bunch of shit about the game to him, my ADHD kicked in and we somehow ended up watching a live sloth feed on YouTube. Aww. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but if you want to watch me go down an ADHD rabbit hole yourself, just come watch me stream at twitch.tv/crispy645. When I started playing the game again, it was an easy kill and escape. Watching Latouche's memories revealed the last Templar connected to Germaine, Robespierre, another politician. I mean, they're like all politicians. Did you guys know that politicians are bad people sometimes? But before continuing with the main mission, I gotta do another parkour mission. This time it's in medieval France instead of more modern France. Once again, these are easy. My challenge doesn't affect parkour, so I completed it normally.
We're not worried! We're scum! We suck!
Getting to Robespierre is going to be hard because of how political powerful he is at the moment. So, to weaken his influence, Arno and Elise sabotage his career by stealing and releasing his secrets and then poisoning his drink with a hallucinogen before he goes on to do an important public speech. This mission is easy. It's just a few simple stealth sections, took a few tries to find the proper routes, but once I did, it was a cakewalk. What the fuck does that mean? That's an insane saying, right? Oh, it's as easy as walking on cake? What? I doubt walking on cake is easy, okay? There's no way that's something you could do easily. You know what? I'm gonna look up its origin. Okay, it says it came from America, so it's definitely gonna be racist somehow. Oh, it's pre-Civil War America. Oh, it's gonna be really racist, isn't it? Oh yeah, wow. This is extremely racist, holy shit. So cakewalk, or take the cake, both come from a dance called the prize walk, where white slave owners, better known as pieces of shit, their scientific name, would make their slaves dance and judge which one was the best. The reward, a piece of cake. Yeah, holy fuck. It actually gets even more fucked up, but I'm not trying to get that serious right now. Just remember, folks, if it was a saying made in America, its origin is definitely going to be racist. Started with discovery all that, I started the next mission after ruining Robespierre's reputation. With his guards weakened by protests against him, sneaking into Robespierre's compound is now doable. After some of the worst stealth in my life, look at this clip. I have no idea what I'm doing, I just panicked. I made it to Robespierre. I started interrogating Robespierre for the location of Germain when Elise walks in. Robespierre says he'll never talk, and then Elise does the most badass thing any character has done in this game so far.
I will never talk.
Then right.
Although that was fucking amazing. It is totally BS. No way in hell that old ass 1776 looking pistol could shoot a bullet that close to him without blowing off his face. Robespierre gives us Germain's location, the temple, and we leave him to be dealt with by the cops.
My boyfriend, Reef, is gonna be flirting.
Oh my days.
With my mom. Yeah, mama.
We're gonna be flirting with her
How do you
mom.
feel about this?
Right.
The last mission of the game, finding and killing Germain, the sage and grandmaster. Because I played this game before, I know where he's hiding. It's at the top of the tower, so I'm not going to bother trying to sneak in without being seen. I'm just going to go in loud and quick. Same way I have sex. I just put it in and scream for 18 seconds and then I'm done. After getting one-shotted twice, I made it to the top where Germain uses his sword on me. Yeah, remember that sword? And that book too. I think the writers of the game forgot about it because they never bring them up again until right now. Whatever. The sword gives Germain magic powers, so now that dumb cloak makes sense, he was cosplaying as a wizard the whole time. When I try to assassinate him, he somehow survives and blocks my attack, sending me backwards as he disappears into the catacombs. Me and Elise meet up together at the entrance of the hidden room from the very beginning of the game. Germain spots us and shoots us with his sword. That's a weird sentence. This is the final boss fight of the game, and it's very underwhelming. It's not a cool close combat fight with a man that has a magic lightning gun sword. It's a weird stealth section. Basically, I hide behind cover and run up to assassinate Germain when he isn't looking in my direction, which is very easy. Even on the challenge where I can't use any gear and am literally the weakest I could possibly be without modding the game, this boss fight is easier than fighting one normal guard. To make it even more of a joke, you could just throw a smoke bomb as you rush Germain, and then it doesn't matter if he's looking at you, you could still get the assassination. After doing this 3 times, a cutscene starts. Arno gets trapped under some rubble as Germain tries to escape. Elise tries to help Arno get unstuck, but she ends up running to stop Germain before he escapes, even though Arno warns her not to because it's too dangerous. Arno gets himself free and starts to run towards Elise, but it's too late. Arno watches his wife die right in front of him, and his sister, his wife, sister, wife, you know what I mean. Or, you know what else you can call it, just it's a normal Alabama wife. That's what it is. Arno finishes off Germain and begins watching his memories, where you learn all his motivations and reasoning, but honestly, who fucking cares? The storyline is mainly about Arno's vengeance, gaining Elise's trust back, and the Templar insurrection. It almost never talks about the overreaching plot of the precursors or hunting down the pieces of Eden. It's kinda just an afterthought. So at the end of the game, where Germain dumps a bit of exposition on you to tie this all in with the story of the game, it's not that interesting and barely makes sense. Like, Germain found the vault before he started the Templar insurrection, so he had the crazy powerful sword the whole time and decided not to use it. Why? He could have just made the other Templars his bitch with that thing and avoid doing this messy coup. But whatever, man. It's still not as messy as the logic in Watch Dogs. That game makes 0 sense when you think about it. Regardless, I still love playing both these games. The story ends with a very mid monologue from Arno and a message from the modern day assassins. The sage's body is hidden amongst the thousands of bodies in the catacombs, so it's going to be impossible for the Templars or assassins to get it. With that done, I completed the challenge.
We did
after 14 hours in Paris as the world's worst assassin. I successfully beat Assassin's Creed Unity without purchasing any skills or gear. I haven't successfully beaten a challenge fully in a while. I think the only other time was in my first video. This challenge was fun, you know? I didn't hate it too much. I enjoyed trying to beat the levels as pure stealth as possible. If I stayed in stealth, I'd get the instant kills, right? But without the double assassination skill, I think some stealth sections are basically impossible. If I get it, then maybe I could have done some of the missions without alerting the targets. Maybe not the Marie one. I can't do a mission where someone can just see me from anywhere. But yeah, one side thing that is fucking stupid as hell. Once you finish the game, you get access to the Sword of Eden. But you don't get to use its cool ability. It's just a shiny sword. It fucking sucks. Why not give the player a little overpowered weapon? I finished the game already. Let me have fun and shoot mans with my swords. It's weird. It's like that time in GTA 5 where you got to unlock that car that in the mission was shooting spikes out the back and had the 2 machine guns in front. But when you use it in the free roam, it's just a normal car. Just let me use a cool version, man. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. It really helps me out. Let me know your favorite part or joke in the comments. I love hearing from you guys, and thanks again for the continued support. Making these videos takes forever, but the nice words from you guys make me believe I might be able to make money off these dumb videos someday. If you want us to be stream/film new videos, just hit me up at Twitch at twitch.tv/crispy645. As I'm writing this script, I'm only about halfway through a new challenge, and I've already recorded over 25 hours of gameplay. So the next video might not be out for a while, or might be broken into multiple parts. It's already insanely long. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I can't fucking compete!